HTML buttons. Okay, so let's see what we can do with buttons. A few things that we can do with HTML buttons. So let's create a form element. Let's leave the action empty. Then inside this form, let's write everything inside this form. Okay, let's say button. Let's leave the button for now. Let's use label. Let's remove this for. We don't need it. Okay, so inside this label, let's say input type is going to be test. So send this thing here. Okay, the label, let's use the word, let's say first name. Say first name. Let's use block return. First name underscore first name. Okay, let's use the word first name. Okay, let's create another one again. Let's duplicate it and make small changes inside. Shift that. Okay, it's not organized. Let's put break in between them, so the second one will be in the next line. So let's say br no br, which is for break. Okay, yeah, it's more organized. This is more organized this way. So let me use last name here. Let me use block letter, which is last name. Yeah, I think it's more better this way. Okay, let me make this thing. Okay, I think it's more better this way. Okay, so what we're talking about is button. Okay, so let's put break here. We can illustrate the button without doing this we are doing. So have patience. So we use br, which is break, not this one. This thing is giving me what I don't want, which is br. Okay, so our button can stand in the next line. So what we want to do submit and the reset and submit. So this kind of button inside here, let's say button let's give it, okay, let's leave it this way. This will not take much of space. Okay, I will say reset. Let me use block letters. Reset. Okay, you can see that. Let this button come down small. Let me use br, not this one, small letter. Okay, yeah, I think it will drop down small. Now inside this reset, let's declare the type of button. Type will be reset. Okay, you can see it in this place, reset. Okay, this for this, and you may have to make sure this thing is inside form element. Without this thing being inside form element, it will not work. As rather I will still clean it, you'll see the difference. So let's double this one and also add submit. Okay, so shift add down allocate. So let me make this one submit. Yeah, we submit. Submit. Okay, now let's see how reset works and how submit works. So let's type something here. Let's say first name is, let's say Tony. The next last name should be Osas. Let's use Osas. Okay. If you click submit now, it will be submitted. This is just for HTML. If we connect this our project to PHP or JavaScript, something like that, you will get this value to be submitted to our PHP server, something like that. But this is for HTML illustration. So by clicking submit, it has been submitted to our server. Now that's what this thing means. So for lisect, let's just type any random thing. If you click lisect, it will wipe everything. It not submit it. It just wipe everything that you have typed in. Just reset it to empty. Just reset it to empty. Okay. Now let's put another type of button. This one is should call it just kind of disabling the button. It's not actual type of button, but kind of want to disable a button. Let me type inside here. I am disabled. Let me type inside here. I am disabled. I am. Let me use small. Okay. I am disabled. I am disabled. That's what this button is. Okay, let me put the disable here. Disabled. I am disabled. You can see it's supposed to be D here. I am disabled. Okay, you can see this button is disabled. You can't click it. So that is one of the advantage of this disable. You can just put this disable in a button that you don't want people to have access to. Like most of these e-commerce store normally do it when they are off, in the, or when they're out of market or out of order, they will just disable the button of um add to cart, something like that. You can't be able to click the button. Sometimes when you hover over the button, you see uh out of order, something like that. So even this submit now, I can do disable here. I think it will work. I can do disable here. I can disable this submit. You cannot submit anything with this. After typing, you cannot submit. You are free to type anything, any nonsense you want, but at the end you can't submit it. All you have to do is just to reset it and start afresh to type your rubbish. So that's it for disable and reset with submit. So let's just add some colors to these buttons. It's very simple. When you want to add color, want to use the same color in all of them. Okay, and let me just make sure I add this disable here. Disabled. Okay, yeah, so you see the disable is faint in color. Just add inside our header. Let's put style, enter. Inside style, let's just, we call button, the name button. By doing this, you are by referring to button, by giving this button attributes and values, what you're actually doing is that you are giving everything that is button here, we inherit the same, we inherit any value you add here, any attribute that is here. If you want to target separate buttons, you have to use class or ID, but it's advised to use class. So if you use class here, you just give this reset button a specified name, a specified class name, give a submit a different class name, then give disable a different class name or ID. You can use ID either way. So let's do a general coloring for all of them. They're just different what's it called, the same styling for all the buttons. Okay, let's start like it's starting with background. Let's say background. Let's say background. Let me say let me say lights. Okay, let me use something like this. I think this color makes sense. Okay, yeah, the color looks nice. Then lights sea green. Let me say border. Let me say border. Do I really need border in this button? I'm not sure. Let me just use do border radius. Let me give it 1 em. Let me see the change. Okay, you can see it makes sense. Okay. Let me give it padding. This thing actually need padding. Let me just give it padding. Okay. Oh, I have double D here, triple D, sorry. So I have them. Let me give it how many? Let me use EM. I think to be okay. Let me use 1 EM. Let me use 1 EM. Okay, you can see how the padding looks like. It's a little bit big, oh, but let's reduce it. Let's say 0.5 and see how it looks like. It makes sense, but let me make it 0.3. Yeah, I think it's manageable that way. Okay, let's say let me give the text its own color. We say color. When you just type color, if you just type color, okay, you have to put semicolon here. Okay, when you type color, you are just referring to text. So color, let me give the text this azure. I just don't know why I like this azure. Looks like white. Okay, I think it makes a little bit sense. Okay, okay. Let me put semicolon. Let me say font width. Say font width. Font width. Let me give it. Should I say? Let me use bolder and see what it looks like. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. Next one, let's use. Let me say font size. Font size. Should I use EM? Let me say 2 EM and see what it looks like. Oh, no, 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 it's too big. No, 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 it's too big. How about 0? I like using EM. It says 0.1 EM. How will it look like? Oh, it's too small. 0.5 EM. Still small. Okay. If I do 1 EM, it's too big. Okay. If I do 1 EM, it's too big. It's too big. Let's make it 0.7. Let's see how it looks like. 0.7. 0. I think it's make okay, 0.8. Yeah, let's leave it at this. 0.8. Okay. 0.8. We have our semicolon. This for font size. Let's say, should we use this text transform self? If I use it, uh, let me make something here. I don't like these borders I'm seeing here. Let me add border first. Border. Let me make it to none. None. Let me see what. Yeah, yeah. That's what I don't want all those borders. It'd be very plain and straightforward. Okay. Let me target this text here. I want all of them. Let me make all of them to be um in block letters. Let me see how it will look like. Let's use text transform. Text transform. Text transform. Capitalized, uppercase. Let me use uppercase and see how it looks like. Yeah, all of them is now in block letters. Okay, so this is for styling this is for styling buttons. So this all these things we added here to this button in the styling, the whole button in the HTML, we inherit it. Or if you create a new button now, it will still inherit this. Let's do it. You see what I'm saying? Let's just even outside this form, if you create another button, let's do it. Let's say button. Let's just button. Just type hello. You can see hello. See, any button you are creating will be inheriting this thing that we uh these values and attributes we added to button value in the styling. All of them will be, if you want, come outside this form and create another button. Create another button and call it click me, something like just click. It will still inherit the same. Let me put break here. BR. It will still inherit the same attributes. So that's it for simple styling for HTML. When we get to CSS, we have a lot of CSS designs to do with button and all that, even hovering and the dimming, highlighting, shadow and all that. So this is it for HTML button. I type something, reset, submit. Then this one is disabled. You can't click it. It's disabled. It's disabled. Okay. So that is it for HTML buttons. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Okay.